So welcome back to another video. If you watched an ad when this started, it's because I got 4,000 hours of valid watch time on YouTube, and now that I have like ad revenue availability, I'm trying it out on this video. I am so sorry that I have to like do that to people, but at the same time, I kind of have to like make do. I'm putting a lot of time into this. I might as well get a little bit of something out of it. It's not going to be a lot. I am on Social Security income. They're going to take half of that money as unearned income anyway. So like I'm going to be getting half of what I get. So it's not even going to be that good anyway for me. So like, hi, welcome. I'd like to get a new camera someday. We had a lightning storm, thunder and lightning. And so my webcam keeps doing like this glitchy thing and it'll like shift the screen around. But I think we got it kind of under control for now. I had to unplug it so many times. Our headspace right now is just a little bit goofed because like, and by the way, I did get a new top. It was at JCPenney's and I got it in a darker color originally, but then it was like too small. I went back, returned it, or swapped it out for a large. Unfortunately, they didn't have the same color. I was going to get a black one. I was going to get a white one. They don't have a large anymore of any of them. So, oh well. I really like this material though. And I was like, I don't know how it looks on me. I feel like it looks okay, I guess. But yeah, so like my headspace with everything is like, there's been a lot of cancellation within my network of me because I've done local generative AI art and people don't fully understand what's going on with it. They tell me that I'm using data centers. They tell me XYZ about it. It's not that big of a deal. It truly is not that big of a deal, but like I guess it's that big of a deal. People use filters on their pictures. That requires AI. When you search on like Google, it does an AI thing. You're using AI, like you're literally doing the thing, but also like when I do it locally and you don't understand how exactly it works, but I'm not even going to get into it anymore. I'm so beyond tired of talking about it. And so what I've come to a realization with is that my community and my network is not as finite as I thought. I thought, I was at least a little bit more insolvable than that, right? A couple pictures, I'm not worth a couple pictures for as much research that I've done in like everything. Now I've talked about this on like, my social networks and whatever, and like people always have a problem with me every time I make a video. And like, I get it. I totally get it. If you don't understand whatever and you think it, then like, if you're not educated on something and I educate you, then you should get it. But if you don't get it after that, then there's nothing I can do. And it's just like, I have to be able to protect my peace. So please just like get out of my life at that point. Right. And so my headspace is really kind of in a weird place right now because like, to be so judgmental on like one specific thing. And by the way, this is currently happening while another member of like the community is like making videos with like far right content creators and giving like doxing information about girls and all this stuff right now. And so people aren't taking the takeaway that like when you block me and you're blocking this other girl, it's like you're literally I'm getting the same treatment and I'm out here like advocating for you. Like the headspace of it's really hard, right? The headspace is really hard whenever I go through all the comments and I sift through the comments and I don't go through the comments on one site. I go through multiple sites and people say, don't read the comments. It's not good for your mental health to like read the comments. Then that's true. But like, hey, like some people break on the comments. I can go beyond that. I have thicker skin, I would like to think. But I can only take so much too. And so whenever I have members of my community saying like, that, and then I'll do like a private message and they'll share my thing and say like, oh, but look at, or whatever. It's just an ongoing cycle of drama. It's literally girl stuff, right? And so, what more gender affirming way to handle this than to like invalidate my opinions on everything, because that's what women have to deal with. Yay, I get the experience. I'm getting the cis woman experience of, I use the slur. Some people like to say that's a slur too. It's so funny in like the comments. It's like, okay, how does a trans woman refer to a cis woman without saying cis? If we only interact with trans people, we're saying like our dialect. And then like the other thing is like you'll use the hard T tran and then with the Y at the end, you'll use that to define us, but like that's literally like the hard R word. And it's just like it's it's head games. It's a lot of head games if you want to like think and overthink these things. And I think I'm just one of those type that just like really calculate things a little bit too much kind of thing, or like over calculate. I feel like I'm an octopus and I feel like I'm an elephant. My tentacles are everywhere and I never forget. So like the people that have been decent with me, um I like have their names, I have their faces in my like embedded in my head. It's like I'm not going to like, I'm going to try to do right by all means for these people. And the people that have like, you know, gone like a little certain way, it's like I try to like be forgiving, but it doesn't seem like my community wants to be forgiving with me. It seems like I'm trying to do everything I can to advocate for a group that doesn't have that much of a voice. We're only 1%. If I wanted to make a popular YouTube channel, I wouldn't make it advocating for the trans community. It's something that meant something to me. It's something that meant something to like my like sanity with everything that was going on to like protect and preserve like the trans care that we do have, seeing how many like how much legislature is going through kind of thing. I've done how much research. I've literally sat here and done how much research for like as many of these videos, and I try to cover it as best as I can. I know I'm scatterbrained, right? And there's times that like I make the video and then right after I'm like, oh, but this, and oh, but this, and like that would have been so good too. And like I can't believe, and then I think like, okay, but do I want to make my videos in the morning or do I want to make my videos at night? And that's another like conflict of interest for me, because it's like if I make my videos in the morning, then I run out of like ideas, I feel like, but I have like that caffeine energy kind of thing, and I feel like I can just get through it, but I'm going to do a lot of retakes anyway because I'm too wound up and just trying to like get all my points across. Then I end up forgetting. If I waited, right? And if I waited, right, I would wait and then I would freaking have my headspace. I would be wrapped around it for like literally all day long up until the point that I film it. So I'd have to think about whatever I was going to do up until that point every single day. So it's like, what do I want to do? Do I want to get it out of the way in the morning, go live my day, address it again in the evening, at night, at bedtime, whatever, and be able to be like, okay, so like maybe we do something like this now, and like just kind of like, because that seems like the better clear headspace kind of way of handling it. So it's just like, but then it's like, yeah, if I do it in the evening, I feel like I could be more thorough, or I could have my thoughts out, or I could write more notes. But it just seems like I said, it just seems like I should be maybe a little bit more insolvable, but maybe I'm just like on some sort of high horse, right? Maybe I'm just like, I feel like, hey, I put 9 months into this. I had a surgery, and then like in between the time, it's like am still like trying to like address things and talk about things and try, I don't have like my foot in it doesn't affect me as much. Like I can afford hormones. If I wanted to afford hormones, like I could afford hormones. Like labs and stuff, I probably would get less labs if I didn't have coverage entirely, right? But I'm not worried about like a surgery anymore. I don't have like that, but I know people that do, right? And I know how bad that is on their mental health to have to be waiting, right? And so like I see the people in my community that are going through that, and it's horrible to have to like know how that is. I went back to my older videos on my channel, and before I had surgery, and I was doing this countdown like, oh, 60 days left. Oh, there's like 48 days. Oh, we're 31 days or 33 days or whatever. Like, and some of those videos I'd go for like 45 minutes and then I get like one like, but I was persistent. And that's the thing about me. I'm persistent. I don't give up. On Xbox 360, bringing it up eternally. I'm never going to stop bringing it up. Number 4 in the world. I need to find the screenshot of when I was number 4 in the world with my avatar with like the DJ hero, DJ head thing, and like all of my achievements on like, I think it was like 360 achievements dot something, or it's like some name like that, one of those sites, and you could like track all your achievement progress outside of the Xbox 360 achievement thing, and you could put like your own little trophy wall thing of like your best achievements. It was really cool. It was really interesting, and it kept me like interested in making better, like getting better achievements, right? But like, yeah, it's just like I have like this persistent personality that I feel like I have to be able to just do what I want to do. Like, I mean, I have to be able to do what I want to do in the way that I want to do it. Everybody likes Saul Goodman, right? That's the point that I was trying to make. And by the way, if you haven't seen, there is a new YouTube channel. It's like a Saul Goodman thing, and they brought Mike back on, and it's only like 3 weeks old-ish at this point. But like, go check that out. It's actually pretty good. I'm really digging like what they put out. Um, but yeah, it's just like I'm a persistent type. Like I feel like I have that embedded in me that I'm going to go all out and I'm going to get my way no matter what. Does that make sense? Like I have that attitude about me. I have that like energy about me, and like I don't feel like I should be struggling as bad as I am. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I should say that. I have like this health issue. I've mentioned it a million times too. I don't want to get into all that, but I'm on Social Security income. I only get like 50 cents for every dollar that I make. Even if I were persistent with the YouTube stuff, I'm not going to make like a killing. There's a window of time where I'd lose my Social Security income if I were to actually like continue videos. And then is talking about trans issues really enough of a job security for me to want to go from point A to point B? Because like I don't know if I have that job security. I have ankylosing spondylitis, whatever, in my spine. I have like sharp, ridgy, painful edges on my spine, and lots of popping, discomfort. You know, it's awesome. And I recently started a medication that has been like kind of helping. I did talk about that in another one of my rambling videos. So we're at the point that we could actually like maybe get back into a gym routine if we could like stay sane enough. Um, but I'm at the point where it's just like I don't feel like I have the community that I really had anymore. Does that make sense? Like it's just like if we can be so fickle as to like exalt one of our members just from like from something, and be so unforgiving too, because that's like one of the life lessons is like you have to understand people do make mistakes. You have to understand, and so like I'm trying to be lenient with other people and being like, hey, that's not exactly how it works, but like I get where you're coming from. I'm always like I've literally always been anti data center, right? I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of the flock camera, like, you know, I'm not a fan of like all this stuff going on, right? But yeah, it's just like it's always like a mental gymnastics. It's always like, you know, within the community, you can't really talk about anything that's like differs from the mainstream of like what's acceptable within the community. And so then it's just like, why did anybody transition then? I thought the point of this was to be a little bit different. I thought the thing was like not be cookie cutter. I thought the thing was like, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've developed too much outside of a city and I don't have like the group mentality that's developed with other trans people. There has been like a development of a community that like I don't have like as much of a say or an understanding, and that's what really has like struck me out of all of this is, am I the right person to be advocating for a community that I do not fully understand myself? Does that make sense? So what do I do? So I look at the world and how it is right now. I'm scared on a global scale that I understand exactly how things are going to play out. I'm scared that I'm understanding a little bit too exactly. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. But if things go the way they do, I don't think it really matters what I do. I don't think it matters how much effort or energy I put into this channel, regardless the direction, right? Money's not going to be what it used to be. It's not, and I don't want to doom and gloom everyone. I don't want to like put the worst scenario out there. I don't want to make people like feel like, oh, hey, like this is how it's going to freaking go or whatever. So it's just like, I don't want to like put that energy out there. At the same time, I want to address like the seriousness of things. I've been mentioning like, hey, this fuel reserve and the midterms and like the correlation I feel like is there, but that's speculative, right? So I just don't know what the right direction to go is. I look at other content creators. I look at Vlad and Finster and how they just identify as a femboy, and like you can be on hormones and you can get FFS and you can just be a femboy, and then you can go on Omegle and then you can say, no, I'm a man and I've always been a man, and like, oh, I tricked you, oh yes bro, like, you know, and just like, and make a thing of it. Is it even doable anymore? Was that just like a niche that was already filled? I don't know. But I'm just like, that's where my head's at, is just like, do I just like switch identities? Like people do it all the time in the community. And so where I've been at for my entirety of my transition, I was a trans woman once I started hormones. I didn't tell people that I was trans for 4 or 5 months until like I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna let people know like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I didn't like expect people to treat me like a trans woman until like after about a year and a half of hormones, right? Um, after I was on hormones for 2 years and I stopped for 2 years, that 2 years off hormones, I felt like I was a trans woman that failed. I didn't feel like a guy. There was no feeling like a guy. If I felt like an enormous failure, I felt like no matter what I did, I would not be happy. And that was absolutely the case. I mean, time and time again, I tried to like not have to start hormones again just to see if like, hey, can I just but like I knew that I wanted to be on hormones, but like I still and like, it's not worth I don't know. I don't know where I'm even going with that. But what I wanted to say is like I feel like I'm almost in the same box as that 2 year mark now. It's like I don't know what the best direction for things are. I feel like I'm in my head a little bit too much about things. I'm starting to feel freakish about myself, right? Because like I look at my community and I'm like, I don't even feel like we kind of like connect. Does that make sense? I mean, there are a lot of people in the community that like have similarities, like we have similarities and like similar interests and we can be, we can be friendly with each other and whatever. And we don't have to always get along about like everything, right? But it's a lot. It's a lot of like mental gymnastics for me right now. And I'm just like, what do I do? Because like if I go on Omegle and I do like something funny, like, oh, hey, I'm not AI, I'm a gay guy or something like that, right? I can't like make that joke without like people thinking like, oh no, you actually are a guy. And then do I just say like, do I just change it? Do I just say like, hey, I'm a femboy because that's where the money's at. If I wanted to make a bag, right? I would just say, hey, I'm a femboy, I'm going on Omegle right now. Do I stay true to my identity or do I chase a bag? Because if I get the bag, then I can take care of the people that mean a lot to me. I can be there and do cool things, right? I can do like the cool things that I want to do. I have a lot of cool ideas. I got a lot of cool fun things. And so like I'm 34 years old. I'm not 22. I'm not 25. I'm not 27. I'm not young, right? I'm not young. I'm almost middle-aged. Like, if you really want to like look at it at like a realistic standpoint, right? So it's like I feel like I've been in this for like so long and I've seen so many girls just like get ahead from doing so much less. But I'm not coming from like a malicious or jealous place with that thought either. I just like I do see like, the girls that come out and are just like, "Hey, and I'm going to get this surgery." And like I look busted now, but just wait until you see it. And then they show like themselves after like, hey, here's 3 days after surgery, and they just make it look like it's not even a big deal. Their face is all swollen up, and then it's just like, oh, here's me after surgery, and like look slay, like and the fun energy, because like, but like they don't cover any of the stuff in between, and just the. I felt like if I talked about that, I felt like if I covered my whole thing, right? I never needed to like publicly talk about any of that. And so, some people are interested in it. Some people have had some interest in like watching those videos and listening to that stuff. I know I have been like crazy about it. And crazy is an understatement. When your government is celebrating your downfall and people are just like, yeah, and like, right, like you understand. And like, for the insurance coverage of everything and how everything's going, when you know that you can never financially achieve this, when you've waited since starting hormones again to get the surgery because of changes when you stopped hormones and how that has taken a toll on you, and you get to see people just go out and start hormones and get it done in like a year and a half, there has been jealousy. There has been internal, an internal dialogue with that I'm not going to share, right? But ultimately, like I pursued, and that's a part of my dedication. I have that energy. I didn't give up in the sense that, like, I knew that, like, as long as I, didn't totally like screw my life up, I was going to get the surgery. And so like I have this injury with the thing, and it's like I'm still dealing with that, and I'm so in my head with it. I got plates in my head now. I put so much into this to just like achieve to like reach where I'm at now, right? Um and it's just not enough. Is it that I have like too much pretty privilege and people are jealous of how I look now? No, it's just that people don't really understand like, you know, I'm Saul Goodman and I'm trying to help you stay out of South American prisons for, work being a work slave. Like, I mean, is that the direction we're gonna go? Remember the MS-13? I mean, I don't know. That's like where my headspace is, right? Does that make like sense though? Right? And so it's like, do I go full Blair White, right? I can't. I've made the joke about it a couple of times, just out of frustration, out of anger, right? But I only have so many like hot girl days left, right? I feel like, looks fade, right? Um I've put so much time in just waiting for things to happen that I haven't lived. And I've been like trying to push the message too. You don't need to like wait for surgery to like live your life. But now like the world's crazy and dangerous and like scary and people have a lot of insults and comments and stuff, and like I come from a timeline where it was so different that nobody cared. Nobody cared. And like people still don't care that much. I feel like, but there's more people that make comments. There's more people that get radicalized by the language that's being pumped into their heads every single day. You don't need the facts. You can just repeat yourself, and people will start believing you. There's a thing about repetition. 1, 2, 3 times, you do it 3 times, people start like getting it, right? It's really frustrating and hard to just have my headspace like wrapped around like what to do next, right? I want to, I still want to like talk about trans issues, but am I the right person? I feel like other people are more articulate than me. I'd rather make comedy stuff where it's like more neutral on things, but even then, I don't have to talk about politics for a certain group of people to hate me. That's just how the world is. If I would have done content, 8 years ago, it wouldn't have been like that. It wouldn't have been so polarized. The comments wouldn't be like, "Oh, but you gotta da 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 da," and I don't want to see that all day, every day, too, if I'm going to make videos. If I'm making a meaningful difference, I don't care. I'll put up with that. If I was making the meaningful difference for people, I would. And it's hard because I'm just like built into the headspace that I have to care. That I can't like turn that off. I talked about this not on here. There was a dead gray catbird recently in the yard, and I buried it, and I cried my head off. And I don't want to talk. I'm not going to talk about it. There was an old couple that had like a water bottle that they dropped on their way to their car. And like I walked it to their car, and like I'm also probably not supposed to be lifting because I hurt the nose, and I'm just like, okay, but no, I'm gonna take it to your car. I don't want this little old lady to get hurt, Why does it matter to me? I wish I could turn that off. That's one of the worst things about taking hormones, is that I have the motherly instinct. I have that like caringness about me. I've said for like this whole time, like if I had the resources, I'd like to help other people in the community. There's like nothing that would have been like more fulfilling. But I feel like my headspace has changed a bit. Just because, what is my community? Do I even know what I'm talking about? Like that's what I'm saying is like, do you know where like, it's exhausting. It really is exhausting being a trans woman. Cause like I said, the gender affirming thing of it would be like, yeah, negate my opinions, kind of like talk over me, kind of like, oh, I can present all the data. Well, you're still wrong, and this is why. Okay, what can I do about it? I thought maybe showing a normal trans girl. I know I'm not normal. I have an absolutely chaotically insane side, and it squeezes through every so often, right? Um, but it really takes a lot. And I think it's more for comedy's sake. So it's just like, but I don't know if people like interpret it like that. I guess like some people don't. But I still think it's funny, and like there's no way that I can change me, if that makes sense. So I hope my head doesn't get rewired in such a way that I'm like, I have to be, I have to just defend myself. And that's like the thing. That's another thing is I make these videos and I'm trying to like talk about all the issues that I see firsthand within people in my community, addressing issues. And when it ends up being that, I gotta find my thought again. I gotta pause for a second. Right. So I understand why I got stumped here. It's kind of a hard topic to like cover. The thing is, like, when I made this channel, it's like, did I make this to like talk about my community? I keep saying my community. Is it my community? I don't really even know anymore. That's how I feel. Did I make it because I wanted to talk about like the issues? And I think largely that is the case. I don't like seeing people that I care about going through hardships and issues that I've faced similar, difficulties. But in my lonesome, like, there's more of a support network for literally anyone in a city. Um, but then when it comes down to like the girls that are sparse and secluded, it's just like it hurts when, our fake internet friends don't like us, I guess. I mean, I thought there was at least some more level of anyway, the headspace that I've been in is just like maybe I started this channel because I'm more pre 2015 mind, right? Maybe it's because the trans girls of like the modern day are asking for too much, are being a little bit too weird with it, or being a little bit too abundant, a little too in your face with things, a little bit too weird. I don't know. Maybe there's just more trans girls in general and it's become a thing. I don't know. Regardless, if we went back and like back in time, right? I didn't face these type of issues. If I would have had the surgery and whatever, it would have been a more of a new type of content. There's so much of it now. If I talk about this stuff, there's literally 100 other girls that are probably posting their videos of their face surgery today. I mean, that's how I feel about it. It's like overestimate, right? But like, yeah, it's become a thing that like this whole thing is like, did I make this channel because like the community is shaping the community in such a way that like you're giving people ammo to take away my medication, and I feel threatened by my own community is like how my head's almost even wrapped. So like again, I don't want to go the full Blair White route, but like there is like a little bit of like a, do you understand? Do you understand? Does anybody understand? Like, it's tough. It's tough to have that type of headspace right now after like talking so long about these issues and stuff and just getting to the point where it's like, oh, hey, now we can like really kind of like put stuff out and like really, but like that's the thing is like, do I have the job security doing these YouTube videos? I'm talking about trans issues. If I wanted to get 4,000 hours of valid watch time for ad revenue, I could have done it with other things so much easier. I could have played Project Zomboid a couple times. I literally have an entire playthrough that I could have uploaded and probably gotten that like monetization, whatever, just from like that. But I didn't want to do like a gaming channel. I'm not here to like sit around and play games anymore. That was like the old me. This is the new me. There's, I'm still the same person, but like I don't have the time for it. I've been there, I've done that. I want to do new things. I like to do cool, fun things. I like birds. I like the, you know, um and so like I know that it's a battle that I can't win alone. I'm not expecting to. I against this administration, I just wanted to make enough of a difference. I thought maybe if I started now, if I started doing this channel and I started talking my opinions and I showed the world that, hey, not all trans people are exactly the same. I mean, it shouldn't be like a big surprise anyway. Like every walk of life has varying people within it kind of thing. I just thought, maybe by like talking about myself, talking about my experiences, maybe like common sense would prevail, I guess. But what I've learned with the local AI art generation is that you can present everything as cleanly as possible, and it's not enough. It's not enough to make the difference. It's not enough to sway the opinion of someone that had their mind made up. So that's the eye-opening thing for me is, do I continue to try and talk about this largely unpopular issue that even people in the community do not like and share and like have like an interest in like my takes on things, or like like not that that's like the biggest thing, right? But like I would have thought that, you know, trans rights are human rights and you love trans people and you want to keep trans people around and you don't want to end up like gone, right? Just, we know what's happening. We all know what's happening right now. If you're trans, if you're like, you see it like the courts and the everything, literally everything is just like, oh yeah, there's a genocide happening. That's fine. We're going to continue the genocide because it's following the law. Please proceed. So it's like, it's hard. It's really like hard to like, do I continue that route? Do I try to chase a bag, right? Do I try to like make funny content on Omegle, not do, you know, not go that route, right? I know I'm in a frustrated headspace right now. I'm saying things that are a little bit more off the cusp. And this is after a lot of calming down, by the way. I do get heated at times, and it's difficult when I I don't have a community. I don't have friends. I don't have like the people that I think are my friends, the people that like, I do have a handful of people. I have a couple people that have been able to keep me together in real life, like when I really need them, right? But these internet friends aren't like your friends. Like you can put that energy of like uplifting someone, and like when they already have like a support group, they already have other people uplifting them, and you're just in the background and you're going unnoticed. I guess that was me, because it means nothing at the end. It really just, you are disposable if your opinions differ from what's going on. um you know, the camera used to be demonic, the digital art used to not be real art. A couple like AI things that I did really, I don't think outweigh my value as a person in the community. But I guess I'm wrong. And like I said, everybody learns, everybody does things different. So I went through and I deleted my stable diffusion stuff. All my files are goofed. There's no way I'm going to figure out how to like put this all back together, because like I'm not like smart enough to do it again. So, you know, and why not test what works best to get this message out? Why is that so hard for people to understand? Why not see if like a freaking AI image on my video as like the thumbnail does better than just a picture of me sitting here smiling while the news is like, oh yeah, everybody's being eradicated in Idaho today, or like, you know, it's it's a lot of juggling, it's a lot of head work, and it's like comedy would be a lot more fun, a lot more transparent, like, you know, a little easier, right? Um so I mean, I'm probably going to keep talking on like things that I find to be, you know, concerning, stuff that happens, but I'm really like sad, and I feel a little disconnected right now, and feel like my own kind of rogue thing at this point. And like I would love to like set up a PO box. I'd love to be like, hey, here's my PO box. You want me to have a better camera? You want me to have like a better phone? Like I've been using a phone that's all smashed up and cracked and it has a band-aid on it, and I'm putting this off because I bought a microphone to try to advocate for this community. I have been waiting to like buy food and stuff because I bought some internal storage for my computer so I could advocate for this community. And like I'm sacrificing for a group that has no interest in keeping me around, I guess. I mean, that's how it feels. So, and like I get like I understand where the headspace when you think like, oh, data center, AI, whatever. When it comes to like local stuff, it's virtually a filter at that point. Nobody has my face mapped out. I did the models. I did the models of my, and then it's literally like a filter. Oh, the Street Fighter 4 graphic styling. Yeah, the guy that made the Street Fighter 4 style graphicing back in like, whenever that happened, because like there's a new Street Fighter movie and I wanted to make a cool thing, but you know, whoopsie, my bad. I again like to reference the Saul Goodman thing because like I'm just trying my best with the tools that I have available. Isn't that what historically we've done as a species? Like you take the tools that you have available and you work with the tools you have available and then you make the thing. Okay. I This is the last time I'm going to talk about it because I don't care anymore. I don't even want to, I don't want to think about it. Um, it's funny when my screenshots of like private messages are being shared and they're just like, that guy really has problems and like blah, 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 like, oh, they're too lazy. And I'm emphasizing like, hey, it does take a lot to like sit here with like a coffee and read things for like an hour and a half and try to get a video out and take multiple takes. I wonder if I have the picture of the like all the takes that I do. I'll put that as the thumbnail. How about that? Um of just like, my average kind of like, cuz some of these videos it takes so long for me to get like that initial joke and like the hi, welcome, and like that's kind of like my thing. It's been like I feel like it plays out nice, right? So, yeah, we've hit the point that we get like a little bit of ad money or whatever. Do what you can to share the stuff. Like make this available. Make like regardless the direction I go, I still think it's important to talk about the issues. Look into the things that like are concerning. Formulate your own opinions, right? Formulate your own opinions. Why do people transition to like be cookie cutter? It seems a little bit redundant, but maybe I just don't get it. Anyway, um yeah. Oh yeah, one more thing. So my bracelet's been really old. Do I just save it for another video? Like I feel like I'm doing too much. Now I'll put it in here. So this bracelet's been getting pretty old, and let's see. You can see it like wears into my arm, and it leaves green. It turns my hand green and stuff, and the inside is like faded and green because it's 23 karat gold plated. And so we normally wear this thing, but we also got another one, and it's brand new and it's super shiny and I don't even want to touch it. Oh my god. I love it. Oh my god, it's so much shinier. So it doesn't look like it on the camera, but like aesthetic wise, this is my thing. And like I swear gold does do something to you. But like, yeah, it's just my thing. And I think the blue looks nice with the gold. And now I can wear two of these. I can literally wear two of these. I'm moving up in the world. I got ad revenue. I got a second bracelet. We talked through our headspace. Thank you for being my therapist today, right? And yeah, we're gonna keep making videos. I mean, we're going to keep making videos. That's non-negotiable, right? As to like, if I have to like rewire myself a little bit to like not try and encumber the entire community, I will. If I have to like, I don't know exactly which direction I'm going to go with things because yeah, I want to talk about the issues, especially in the States that like I have friends in. And I say friends, but I wonder how many of them would give up on me on a drop of a hat, right? Anyway, yeah, I got nothing else.